Before history was written in books, it was cast in bronze. A story of power, artistry, and a civilization that rivaled any on Earth, waiting to be told. Its legacy, etched in metal, has survived for centuries, whispering tales of a forgotten golden age. Deep in the lush rainforests of West Africa, long before the first British ships scarred the horizon, there flourished a kingdom that defied all European expectations. This was the Kingdom of Benin. It wasn't just a collection of villages, it was a highly organized society, a formidable military power, and a commercial hub whose influence stretched for hundreds of miles. Its wealth, derived from strategic control over trade in ivory, palm oil, and pepper, was legendary. But its true power lay in its sophisticated political structure, centered on a divine king, the Oba, and a complex system of palace chiefs and artisan guilds that governed every aspect of life. At its heart lay Benin City, a metropolis of staggering scale. Its perimeter was guarded by a massive system of walls and moats, a man-made structure so vast it was said to be 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. Within these fortifications, wide, clean avenues led to a sprawling royal palace, the epicenter of a vibrant culture. But the kingdom's most breathtaking achievement was its art. Using the complex lost wax casting technique, its master craftsmen created thousands of intricate bronze and ivory sculptures. These weren't mere decorations, they were a royal archive, a historical record chronicling kings, queen mothers, pivotal battles, and sacred rituals. An entire civilization's history, rendered in exquisite detail, now scattered across the world's greatest museums. So how did this powerhouse of West Africa, with its advanced urban planning and unparalleled artistic tradition, rise to such prominence? How did it forge a unique identity and maintain its sovereignty for centuries in a region of competing powers? And more urgently, how did a kingdom of such significance become a footnote in global history, its name known more for the art that was stolen from it than for the civilization that created it? The story of its fall is as dramatic as its rise, a tale of colonial ambition, brutal conquest, and cultural erasure. To understand what was lost, we must journey back. We must decode the stories embedded in these silent bronze faces, trace the trade routes that connected Benin to the wider world, and confront the violent events of 1897 that saw the kingdom burned and its treasures looted. This is the story of the Benin Empire, a quest to reclaim a history that was not just forgotten, but systematically erased. A history that is now, finally, being brought back into the light. Welcome to Chrono Tales TV. In the grand tapestry of world history, some threads gleam brighter than others, while entire chapters, rich with culture and innovation, remain tucked away in the shadows. Today we pull one such chapter into the light, uncovering a story of immense power and breathtaking artistry often left out of our textbooks. Our journey takes us deep into the lush rainforests of West Africa, to the heart of the Benin Empire. It's crucial to distinguish this powerful historical kingdom from the modern-day Republic of Benin, its neighbor to the west. The empire's cradle was the land of the Edo people, in what is now Nigeria's Edo State. For nearly a millennium, this kingdom flourished, built on foundations laid by the legendary Ogiso, or rulers of the sky, before a new dynasty of Obas, or kings, would steer it toward its golden age. This is a story of ambition and order. We'll explore how a succession of powerful Obas, considered divine rulers, forged a highly centralized state with formidable armies and sophisticated guilds. We'll walk the streets of Benin City, a metropolis protected by one of the largest man-made structures in history, a complex system of walls and moats, described by early European visitors as a place of great order and magnificence, rivaling the great cities of Europe. But Benin's true genius lay in its art. We will delve into the world of the legendary Benin Bronzes. These were not mere decorations, they were a royal archive, a visual history cast in shimmering brass and bronze. Using the intricate lost wax technique, artisans created thousands of plaques and sculptures that adorned the Oba's palace, chronicling the kingdom's history, its spiritual beliefs, and the epic deeds of its rulers. Each piece tells a story. We'll witness the kingdom's fateful encounter with Europe, a relationship that began with trade in pepper and ivory, but was tragically corrupted by the transatlantic slave trade. And finally, we will confront the empire's brutal end. In 1897, a British force launched the Punitive Expedition, burning Benin City to the ground and looting its sacred treasures. Thousands of priceless bronzes were stolen and scattered across museums in the West, where many remain to this day, the subject of an ongoing debate about restitution. The story of Benin is a powerful saga of creation and destruction, of a civilization's zenith and its tragic fall. It challenges us to rethink our understanding of history and empire. If you believe these stories need to be told, join our community by subscribing to Chrono Tales TV, liking this video, and sharing it with others who seek to understand the forgotten corners of our shared past. The story of Benin begins around the 11th century, when the Edo people established a kingdom ruled by powerful kings known as the Obas of Benin. By the 13th century, Oba Iwaka I laid the foundation of a dynasty that would last for centuries. Under the leadership of the Obas, Benin grew into a highly organized state, with advanced political systems, complex trade networks, and one of the most impressive city layouts in Africa. Macro details of coral beads, bronze torque, carved ivory, hands arranging artifacts on cloth under warm rim light. In 1485, the caravel of Portuguese explorer João Afonso de Aveiro cut through the waters of the Bight of Benin, navigating towards a kingdom whose reputation had preceded it. These were not uncharted lands inhabited by scattered tribes, as European prejudice might have suggested. This was the heart of a powerful centuries-old empire. When Aveiro and his men finally reached the capital, Benin City, the sight that greeted them was beyond anything they could have imagined. It was a sprawling, meticulously planned metropolis, a testament to a sophisticated civilization that had flourished for hundreds of years, long before the first European sails appeared on the horizon. The initial encounter was one of mutual curiosity, laying the groundwork for a complex relationship. Dutch and Portuguese accounts from the following centuries paint a picture of breathtaking order and scale. One visitor, Ulfert Dapper, wrote that the city was very large, with streets 7 or 8 times broader than the Warmoestraat in Amsterdam. These weren't just dusty tracks, they were wide, straight avenues that ran for miles, intersecting at right angles in a grid-like pattern that demonstrated advanced urban planning. The residential areas were comprised of family compounds, each with its own courtyard, all kept impeccably clean, a detail that European visitors, accustomed to the squalor of their own cities, noted with astonishment. But the city's most staggering feature lay beyond its immediate confines. This was the Iya, or the Great Walls of Benin. This was not a single wall, but an intricate network of defensive earthworks, deep moats and towering ramparts that enclosed the city and radiated outwards, protecting a vast territory of towns and villages. Archaeologist Patrick Darling estimated the total length of these earthworks to be around 16,000 kilometers. To put that into perspective, that's 4 times longer than the Great Wall of China. This colossal undertaking, constructed over centuries without modern machinery, represents one of the largest single archaeological phenomena on the planet. It was a monumental declaration of the kingdom's power and a symbol of the unity of the Edo people. Such accounts directly challenge the burgeoning European narrative of Africa as a dark continent, a land of chaos and primitivism. Here was irrefutable evidence of a highly organized society with a complex political structure ruled by a divine king, the Oba. At the heart of this metropolis stood the immense royal palace, a city within a city. The kingdom thrived on a system of specialized guilds, ivory carvers, woodworkers, and most famously, the master bronze casters, whose art would later stun the world. This wasn't just a city, it was the administrative, spiritual, and commercial heart of a powerful and sophisticated empire, a civilization on par with any in Europe at the time. For centuries, Benin City stood as a beacon of African ingenuity and power. Its streets buzzed with commerce, its artisans crafted masterpieces, and its walls stood as a testament to the collective will of its people. It was a world built on its own terms, with a rich cultural and political life that Europeans could only glimpse. While the city's physical grandeur would eventually be brought to ruin, the memory of its greatness, preserved in the accounts of awestruck visitors and the enduring legacy of its art, continues to rewrite the history of not just a continent, but the world. Benin's wealth came from its strategic control of trade routes. It exported ivory, pepper, palm oil, and later slaves, while importing firearms, copper, and luxury goods from Europe. The Portuguese and later the Dutch and English sought alliances with the Obas. For centuries, Benin controlled a vibrant economy that linked West Africa with Europe. But Benin was not just about trade, it was about culture. The true masterpieces of Benin were its bronze plaques, ivory carvings, and sculptures. The Benin Bronzes, created with sophisticated metal casting techniques, stunned the world with their realism and beauty. These works of art were not just decoration, they recorded royal history, celebrated warriors, and honored the gods. Today, many of these priceless treasures sit in European museums taken during the brutal British invasion of 1897. Their return remains one of the most heated debates in global art history. In the late 19th century, as European powers scrambled for Africa, the British targeted Benin. In 1897, a British force invaded, burned the city to the ground, and exiled Oba Ramwen. Thousands of bronzes and artifacts were looted and shipped abroad. The once great empire fell, marking the end of one of Africa's most advanced civilizations. Yet the legacy of Benin lives on. The Oba of Benin still holds traditional authority in Edo State. The artistry of the bronzes continues to inspire global admiration, and the debate over their return reminds the world that the Benin Empire was never forgotten. It was a kingdom that shocked explorers, challenged stereotypes, and proved Africa's place in world civilization. If you found this story of the Benin Empire inspiring, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video with anyone curious about African history. Which other hidden Nigerian kingdoms would you like us to cover next? The Oyo Empire, Nok Civilization, or Kanem Bornu? Tell us in the comments below. Until next time, keep exploring the past, because history is never truly forgotten.